want to dedicate this talk tonight to my incredible alumni, because over the last couple of years, as they've been graduating and heading into PhD programs and into the workforce, they've looked back and they've said, what can I do to make going through microbiology and biochemistry even more badass than it already is? And so they are supporting me in every way, in making my teaching incredible, allowing me to have resources that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So tonight I dedicate this to them. So specifically to Sierra, to Ella, to Noah, to Josh, to Kyle, to Daryl, and specifically to Christopher Parker. Sounds like a superhero costume, right? He actually helped with a lot of this presentation tonight. So when you look at this, real women, real planets, you might be thinking, what is this all about? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened in the early 2000s when we actually realized that our body is not mostly our body. In fact, we are outnumbered by microorganisms. And at that time, we thought that it was about 10 to 1. That is 100 trillion microorganisms to every trillion of 10 trillion of our cells. So we were really realizing that in fact we were all in costume all the time as planets. That our body in fact is home to many, many residents, and our ecosystems are vast and diverse, ranging from the very moist gastrointestinal tract and mouth, all the way to the dry desert savannas of our skin. And these are very different ecosystems that house very different residents in them. Later, we came to realize that that number of 10 to 1 might be a little bit of an overestimate. And more recent literature has argued maybe 3 to 1. This recent study says maybe it's more like 1 to 1, but in fact this study was done on the quote-unquote reference man. You got it, the 70-kilogram reference man. So what we know about the microbiome, the human microbiome, our inhabitants, is that mine are completely different than yours. They're completely different than hers, and they're completely different than his. So to have a 70-kilogram reference man tells us absolutely nothing about a trans woman, or about a woman for that matter. So as we're starting to recognize the microbiome and its diversity, we're recognizing that that may be diverse from not only one person to another, but when we look across genders and even sexualities, we're going to see some difference there. But no matter how you look at it, our microbes are a big part of what makes us us. And if you look at the DNA of a microorganism, or the microorganisms compared to us, they outnumber us by 99%. That is to say, the human genome is 20,000 genes. But if you look at the number of microbial genes, it's about 2 to 20 million genes. So we are mostly micro when it comes to our genome. And these bacteria and yeast and viruses, they map on our body in really unique ways. As I mentioned, the dry desert savannas of your hands are very different than your gastrointestinal tract, or your mouth, or your vagina. Everything varies from one ecosystem to another, and this image shows us some of the most famous research done in this area by a man named Rob Nye, where you can see how bacteria map onto our body in different locations. They cluster in different areas, and they live and inhabit different ecosystems. So if we think about looking at the Earth from very far away, we see this very famous image that is called the blue marble. And if we look at it from a distance, all we see is something that looks like a blue marble. But in fact, we know that if we look up close, we see the trillions and trillions of residents that inhabit this planet. that's just as true for you and I. So when I look at you, I might just see a person. But in fact, if I looked closely, I would see all of your beautiful ecosystems. Every one of them serving as home to a multitude of residents, living and thriving, and particularly thriving if you're thriving. You and your residents are inextricably linked. If they're happy, then you tend to be happy, and vice versa. So, if we think about how many microorganisms there are on the Earth, there are 1 million times as many microbes on Earth as in the known cosmos. So we think about the cosmos as this vast, underdiscovered area, but in fact, your very own body is a vast, underdiscovered area. We've cultured and characterized less than 1% of the microbial inhabitants of our Earth. We barely know anything about the residents with whom we live and whom live on our body. There is a project right now going on very similar to the human microbiome called the Earth microbiome. And where we saw that image of mapping microorganisms onto the body, we're also mapping microorganisms on the Earth. And we're noticing that there are differences between what lives in what geographic region versus what other geographic region. This is called Microbial Cartographies. And this image shows you that there are different areas where we characterize on the surface of the Earth the different microbial residents. So just like your body, the microbial residents of the Earth are vast and diverse, and we represent one another. If our Earth is happy and healthy and has good biodiversity in its bacteria and other microorganisms, we represent that. We have then a healthy microbiome if our Earth has a healthy microbiome. This image shows you on the upper left, you can see the gut. So notice that the gut, our human gut, looks an awful lot like the gut of the Earth. So on the lower right, that's the gut of the Earth, aka the soil. The soil is where we see this constant renewing and biogeochemical cycling, the same as in our gut, where we're taking in nutrients and recycling and utilizing. So these are so very similar. And we can think about just as the soil nourishes many residents and enables the biogeochemical cycling that enables our health and wellness, the residents of our gut interplay with our health and wellness. They are positively tied to being lean or being obese. They release secondary metabolites that even dictate our mental health. And most recently, I read an article that they even help dictate our learning. So our residents are constantly telling us stories, and we telling them stories as well about our wellness, their wellness, and how they interplay with one another. When we spend time playing in dirt as young people, therefore we develop a nice, diverse microbiome, and we're less likely to have asthma and allergies. Our gut is intimately tied and inextricably linked to the Earth's gut. Like the Earth's soil, microbial residents of our gut are diverse and are very diverse ecosystems. So too is that of our vagina. And in fact, a healthy woman has diverse residents in her vagina. And you know, this has been a major issue because how many women are out there that have gone in and been diagnosed with what's called dysbiosis? That is, you've been told you have BV. And actually, it turns out that there's a natural fluctuation in the vaginal microbiome. And that fluctuation can take place over a lifetime, it can take place over a month, it can take place all of the time. So just as is true with gut disease, same with vaginal disease, we need to stop telling women that they have a disease because they're different, because there's a variation in that particular unique ecosystem niche of your body. So as we conclude tonight, I want you to realize that you are not just a woman, or a man, or whatever you are. You are not just that, you are a planet. Your planet is filled with diverse residents, and your planet is freaking beautiful. And I want you to remember every time that you start running scripts in your mind that you are alone, that you are lonely, that you are not enough. Remember that your body is home to many diverse and beautiful ecosystems. You provide the shelter, the food, the nourishment for a changing, morphing, and growing network of life. You are a planet, and your planet is enough. Thank you.